her son to get that disease, right?
Right, but if the son who's the insured, has superseded, outlived the mother that died at age 60 and he's 70, you know what I'm saying? Do you think that would be fair?
Oh, then they would not consider it, right? Because
correct.
Yes.
Exactly. They would not use that against them. Okay? But if you have an individual that's 30 years old and is applying for life insurance, and a mother or father who died of some type of a cardiac at below age 60, yes, they will hold it against you, and usually you cannot get super preferred, you can only get preferred. Okay?
Yes.
So what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are my 5. Have you applied elsewhere for life insurance in the past year? That's what they're looking for there, is they want to make sure that there's going to be individuals that seem to think that their business is way more important than anybody else's, so they'll apply with multiple carriers at the same time. And it's kind of like, I don't know what you guys do in India, but I know in Italy, when they cook pasta, the old-fashioned way to check and see if pasta is cooked, they throw it up against the wall, right, to see if it sticks. Do you guys know that?
No.
I do.
Yeah.
So that is like a traditional recipe. That's how they know if it is done or not. So basically, same thing with life insurance. It's what will stick, what will and will not stick to the wall. They're hoping one of 5 different carriers that they've applied with different agents and don't tell each other about them, that one will fall through, or, one will possibly get way better than the other. Okay? But for, like, trying to sell life insurance and stuff, we really don't, that's not one of my 5 that I would say. That's not going to preclude or say, as far as medical, what we're looking for here is medical. This would be like a non-medical issue. And that's it. So I would say those 5 things. Tobacco, have you seen any doctor besides, your routine physical or your primary in the last 5 years? Medications, your build, and your family history. If agents were to ask these 5 questions, and I was to put the summary in a little piece of paper and they could fold it up and put it in their pocket, that would be agent in my pocket. And that would make our life a lot easier, because then they would be doing some field underwriting.
Jolie, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
When we're talking about the height and weight, you're talking about body mass index. If you have someone who, let's say, is, a weightlifter, their BMI is probably going to make them look like they're an overweight person when they're not. I mean, they're overweight, but they have a bunch of muscle, not fat. So with that, even though they're in insanely great shape, will that still affect them negatively due to their high BMI?
Well, some carriers have more lenient build charts than others. I will give you an example here, because this all ties into what we were talking about. So you guys feel more than ask me anything, because this is all underwriting, and this is the topic that we were going to go over today. Wait, did I just miss it?
And the reason I ask is that, we've got a really big group of people here in America that are into the weightlifting and stuff, and it's becoming a popular thing. And so you've got they even, from my understanding, have really kind of proven where BMI is kind of insufficient, because you have a ton of really good in shape people, but they may be considered overweight because of their muscle. Right,
and muscle's heavier than fat. But you will see in the build charts, like I'm going to show you here, the build charts are pretty lenient. They're not like very stringent where, you need to be this tiny little thing. And you just made me remember of one thing. Do you think if you're being underweight, do you think if you're underweight by like 10, 15 pounds from the minimum? So here's a build chart. Let's say see how John Hancock does table rating. So table rating, you've got your super preferred, your standard plus, your standard, and then it goes into table ratings. 125, so like these are applicable to B, C, D, E, F, G. They go all the way up to, some carriers go up to table 12. And they get expensive. So just picture these table ratings. They're based off of a standard non-smoker rate offer, and then the rating has a, this one 125%, 100. So this is a table for each one. So this would be B, C, D. So they base it off a standard, and then they tack on the percentage for each additional table. So your standard is your chassis as your basis. And they can go all the way up to table 12. Some carriers are at table 10. Let me show you a bill chart. That bill chart. See, right there, if you know that this carrier is offering you right off the bat in the front, they're a good carrier for build. If you have somebody that's overweight, because most carriers, they don't show your bill chart for table rating. They only show for, up to standard. So that gives you an idea that they're somewhat lenient in their bill chart. Let me find you. I want to show you the difference.